All right, we're live on location out here at the Rockin' Q in Harlingen, Texas, for the SVB versus Chip one pocket match, which is kind of surprising. You don't say SVB and one pocket too often. I'm joined here by none other than Chip. Chip, how are you, buddy?
Good. How's everybody doing?
I don't know how everyone's doing, but I know I'm doing all right. I've been on the road. When did you get in town, man?
I got here Tuesday, man. I wanted to get used to the table and kind of get acclimated with the place and the people in town and everything. So got here pretty early.
How you liking it so far?
I like it, man. Everybody here is just really, really nice. Good service, nice pool room. The equipment's great. I love it here. Food's good.
If y'all happen to come down, so I used to live here like years ago, but Benito never had this place open way back when. He had another bar down the road.
Yeah.
And but I tell you, man, from the food, like you mentioned, the people, all top shelf. All of his establishments that I've ever been to of his have all been phenomenal.
Good food, yeah. Really good food.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm curious, Chip. I remember hearing about this matchup, and we'll just jump on into it. Probably about a year ago, you first mentioned it to me. How tough was it to get Shane to finally agree to play some one pocket, and why you, of all people, did he agree to go and say yes to?
Honestly, I don't know. Phil kind of set it all up, and Tom Medina and a lot of guys had it. Were kind of putting it out there that I would play or that he wanted to play, or I think it was your rankings that might have pushed Shane to. I was a little higher than him. Yeah. I was ranked a little higher than him, and I think he might have took some offense to that.
When you get Shane with the chip on his shoulder, it's kind of he can be a little dangerous, man.
He can 100% be dangerous. He's a champion, so.
No pun intended by the chip on the shoulder either, man. But you've been playing quite a bit, man, and you've been playing against Tony back whenever I seen you last in Austin, and then you had the matchup with Federer. Let's talk about those matchups briefly before we jump on to this one. I know those didn't go your way, but what were you really expecting whenever you went and played Federer, and how tough of an opponent was he for you?
He was great. He's obviously very well composed. He never, nothing sharks him. He doesn't, he doesn't mind pushing the balls up table. He played the game great, honestly. I did not play my best, but, he's hard to defend, and he runs the ball so well. It was just, I wasn't myself, but, he played great.
Yeah, he's kind of those Europeans are tough when they can bank the balls and you know how to move well enough to defend yourself, and then, of course, they can run 8 from anywhere.
From anywhere, yeah. And he played good on me. I just didn't put any heat on him. Nothing was really working, especially that last day, so. I wasn't quite myself.
You had made a run, if I remember, on day number 2.
Day 2, I got it 13-11
to close out, right? Because y'all were going to 14, right?
Yeah, I got it. No, we were going to
16.
So then I got beat. I don't think I won another game after
from there. Yeah.
And then I won one game the next day.
What do you credit that to, man? Honestly,
I was going through some stuff, mentally, and just I just wasn't myself,
Yeah.
So. Hopefully I've changed some things and, get back to my old self here.
Well, how you feeling right now?
I feel good.
Yeah.
Been hitting balls every day, been practicing, been down here for 4 days now, 3-4 days now. So I feel good.
That's good, man. Yeah. That's real good. Yeah. It's kind of, I like Federer a lot. He's a good kid.
I've got nothing bad to say about Federer. He's
because there's a couple of jerks in the pool world.
There is.
I'm sure you've met a few of them.
A bunch of them. Yeah. Won't name any names, but no, Fedor's a good kid, great player, and he's got a bright future for sure.
One of the reasons why I got a lot of respect for your game, and similar to Tony, is that you guys don't care. Y'all just want to play. Y'all want to gamble. You're usually inclined to go and bet it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're not necessarily, I don't want to say worried about your opponent, but you don't really care who you play. You just want to go and play.
Got to play the table, yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the competition so much. Like if the day I quit competing, will probably be the day I won't play pool anymore. I still love it, and it's fun to get out there and play these guys. So.
I mean, we go and look at your record over the last few months being 0-2, but it's kind of brutal because you're 0-2 against Tony, you're 0-2 against Federer, and then now you're coming into Shane, after losing a couple. But I don't think there's anything to go and hang your head on when it comes to losing against guys like that,
Yeah, it's tough taking L's like that, and just all the comments and all, just the stuff people say.
You pay attention to that stuff?
It's hard not to sometimes.
Yep.
I try not to, but it's hard not to see some of the.
Well, it's easy to go and say it from the rail, right?
Yeah, it's just hard not to see some of the negative things that people take out of these matches. And,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to put on a good show and obviously win.
Right.
But I honestly just love to compete, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can play. So.
All right, well, let me ask you about your opponent. Well, first of all, if you guys can see the graphic up there, omegabilliards.com for the pay-per-view. They're playing on this table right behind me where Zach's hitting balls. The stream's going to start, I think, in about an hour or so will be game one. And knowing Omega, you'll probably be able to at least catch the first game. But then after that, they're going right over to pay-per-view. So go check it out. Go buy the pay-per-view. Go support these guys because, look, they can go and play anywhere on earth on some back table in some back room. And Chip ain't got to hear the bullshit from fans about how bad he played. They go and do it for you guys. So go and show them some love back and buy the pay-per-view for Omega, Phil, Mike, all these guys, all the backers who are there putting it on. They're doing it all for the fans, man. So go and show them some love back. Fetter's in the comments saying, what are the odds? And Chip, I'm curious, what are the odds? Because I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention.
We're betting a lot of money even. So,
Well, I heard there was some real action, though, given a little bit of weight.
There's some guys laying 3-2 or like 3 games on the wire.
What are y'all racing to?
24.
So you're saying you won't get 21 is what they're saying.
That's what they're saying, or 3-2 on the money. I think I'm going to win, and I think it's even. So
that's pretty steep, man.
We're going to find
Giving
out.
3 going to 24.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, what experience, if any, do you have playing Shane one pocket?
Honestly, we've probably only paid maybe 2 or 3 times, and it was, I think.
How long ago was this?
Last time I played maybe 2-3 years ago.
Derby?
Yeah,
Yep.
he had me 2-0, and it was like the final 12 or final 16, and I beat him 3 in a row. And then we might have played a couple years before that at Derby. Like we've only played a couple times one pocket, so
He's kind of dangerous, man, even though people may not consider Shane an elite one pocket player, but it's because we really don't see him go and play one pocket. But similar to the European you just played, he's one of these guys who can run 8 balls from anywhere. He banks the ball good.
He's hard to defend. Yeah, he banks good. He moves. I mean, he moves good. Can't say he doesn't move good. Does everything well. Does everything really solid. So he's going to be hard to defend. Kind of like Fedor, But
have you been seeing? When did he get in town? Have you been seeing him hit balls here?
Yesterday was the first time I saw him hit any balls. So, maybe he thinks he's stealing or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Given 3 games going to 24, I don't think that's stealing. But I mean, in all honesty, and I know guys like you don't go and take it personally. You see a score line from what you had with Federer. If I'm in your shoes, I'm loving getting 3 games
for sure. No, for sure.
And by the way, they're playing even. So when we talk about odds, we're just talking about stuff on the rail.
Yeah.
So
no, it's going to be a tough match. I'm looking forward to playing and seeing how. I'm not really sure. Like I've seen him play a lot, but I'm not really sure his style or how he's going to play yet. So I'll kind of get a feel for that today. So
Shane's made no bones about it that he's not necessarily in love with one pocket, right?
Yeah.
He said it multiple times, and that's part of the reason why on our power rankings we had him where we did, because we don't really get to see him play the game a lot. We can't really peg him where he's at. He's obviously got a world of talent and a lot of upside, but this is just me talking here. I'm thinking that Shane's patience may not necessarily be the longest compared to some of these guys.
Yeah, no, I think you're right for sure. I mean, he is the current world champion, so I've got my hands full for sure. But
yeah, but I mean, he's used to just knocking 9 balls in or knocking 10 balls in, and that's pretty much it. But when you can go, and you of all players can go and do it, can go and string games along and really draw them out. You can really. He might go and bite on something that he. Maybe early on he'll go and pass up, but after he's been playing for a while, he may be ready to get the hell out of here and try to steal one or wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping he gets impatient and maybe shoots at a flyer or shoots at something he shouldn't. So that's the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping it pans out for you, man.
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Well,
so.
I mean, it's true though. I mean, like that cliche holds well for a lot of things, right? But like it takes a certain person to come up here and want to go and play all these champions, and I think that's something to be like. It's easy to go and criticize afterwards, right? Chip's just getting his ass handed to him every time he goes somewhere. He plays Tony, but actually Tony was real close.
Tony with 2 games, yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't play my best there. I played good on the last day, and I got beat that second day. It was the only day I got beat. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to fade these comments like this one here.
Which one was it? What are we talking about here? We talking about this one?
No.
Phil's comment? Oh, Chip has a shaky stroke. Yeah, but you know what, man? Like I remember last time we had you on, we talked about like your fundamentals, right? Like how you come into the shot. And that was one thing, and you backed it up by saying, you know what, I've been hitting a lot of balls, right? So like I've been practicing a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember being at Skinny Bob's and Chip was just there early on, every single day, knocking them around. But even Shane's got unique fundamentals. Like
he does. He has to hit a lot of balls to be playing well. That's why he plays so much.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of similar to that. Not that I'm,
but it's not like textbook. Like if you look at Federer's stroke, right? Like he's more like his approach and how he comes to the shot is very specific by the book, right? But Shane's got this real unorthodox style of hitting the ball. You got kind of a similar style. I go and the comparison that I remember making was like closer like a Bustamante.
Yeah.
Maybe like not as elaborate, but similar as far as like your wind up, so to speak.
Yeah, I've tried to calm it down a little bit. The more I play, though, the better the more, the more steady it'll become. So,
how has your pocketing been the last few months?
The past few months hasn't been good, but that's from lack of play, in my opinion. And I had other stuff going on, so it's going to be better this match for sure.
We got Billy in the chat saying he'll take 8-7, man.
Who, Billy Thorpe?
Yeah, Billy Thorpe.
Oh, stop it, Billy.
Yeah. I think even that might be a great matchup.
Me and Billy play close for sure. He plays one pocket good, better than people think for sure.
Wow, he's won Derby City playing one pocket.
A couple times.
Yeah, a couple times, right? So no big deal there, right? I think that'd be a fun matchup, though.
Get out of here, Billy.
I think that would be a great matchup, actually. But that's there's you have guys like the Dennises and Alexes of the world, and then you have guys that are maybe like how this whole matchup started, where Shane takes offense to maybe being on a rank lower than maybe where he should have been. Do you think that Shane ought to be ranked higher than maybe where he is on rankings?
Yeah, I think probably so. But I mean,
where would you put him at?
What would I put him at? I mean, that's kind of a tough question.
No, it's not that. This is
he's
what
won Derby twice. If he wanted to be, I mean, he could be top 5, top 6. If he wanted to be top 3, like, I mean, it just depends on how much he wants to play and what the time he's willing to put in.
Yeah.
If he sets his mind to something, he usually does it. So.
Yeah, but I mean that's part of. I mean, we ain't getting any younger, right? So like, it's hard to go and have that same motivation. And that was one thing whenever I first heard about this matchup, because I talked to Chip last, I think it was October. And you were like, well, we may go and play after Derby. And I mean, I was waiting for it. I mean, I was excited for it because we don't. Number one, I like the way you go and play the game, and the moving part I really have a fascination about. And two, I just don't know what the hell I'm going to see from Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you wish maybe the timing of it would have been a little maybe before the last couple months and before playing Tony and Federer?
Yeah, I kind of do, but it's it is what it is. He's got.
I mean, you can't do shit about it now, right?
Yeah, so Shane's got a busy schedule. I know he's he's got stuff planned up through the year, so it's kind of we got to play when he's available. So I'm just glad to be playing him, and I think this will do wonders for the game in one pocket just to help grow the game. So
well, I mean, Shane moves the needle, and I think the whole pool world kind of knows that, right? Mm-hmm. Like we all know what how many more fans that and. Shane's earned that by all of his accomplishments, right? Multiple 5-time U.S. Open winner, just world champion now. I mean, you name it, the guy's just accomplished so much. But it's great, and I agree with you. I think it'll get a lot more eyes on the game versus otherwise.
Yeah, versus like me and Tony's always a great match, or Tony playing anybody's a great match. But Shane he's going to bring another crowd to watch in one pocket. I think
the one thing that I really love is that all these matchups that you've been playing lately. I mean, I know we've seen a lot of you and Tony over the last like 2 years, maybe, but it's been 9-8. In Dallas, I remember, right?
Yeah.
9-8 again. Then you guys go and play even in Louisiana, which ain't tough to do. I mean, which isn't easy to do, rather. So I can appreciate those differences, but more importantly, all these guys you're playing, they're all very now matchups. Federer's right now, Shane's right now. What I mean by that is that they're winning right now.
They're winning everything.
Yeah,
right now.
I mean, it's easy to go and bark at the guy who's been collecting dust for the last 12 months.
Got a job,
Yeah, exactly. So
I know how to pick them, don't I?
Hey, you said it before me, buddy.
Well, I love it, man. I ain't gonna stop doing what I do either. I'm gonna keep trying to play these.
Well, who else would you like to play? I mean, I'm not saying go and wolf at anybody out here.
Yeah,
with all due respect,
there's
obviously.
honestly only a handful of guys or maybe a few guys that can play or can get stake playing. I'm not like going out on the limb choosing these matches. Like there's like 3 or 4 guys that can play for this amount of money
for sure.
That'll play even. There's Billy. There's
Is it?
Skylar's been wolfing a little bit, asking for 9-8, which I'm not going to give him. I mean,
He's another one of those guys where you don't really know where to put his one pocket game in. It's like he'll
and
go and show up to a one pocket tournament maybe twice a year, and then he'll be in the finals or at one or both of them.
Yeah, and he can play the game too. So you just never know with him. Like Billy plays it great, Skylar plays it great. There's a number of guys, Evan, Josh.
Well, Evan's coming off a win off of Josh, and I remember talking with Josh last year at the Texas Open. And he was like, "Well, Chip ain't never beat me. Chip ain't never beat me." I'm curious, like, is Josh a matchup, or is Evan someone you'd want to go and
I would love to play Josh, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not sure if he can get state playing me. Not saying the game's like I think the game's.
I mean,
close.
After he loses to Evan, it probably would have been better before.
Yeah, it would have been better before, but yeah, I'd like to play Evan. I would definitely play Evan.
The what? Yeah, Billy. Yeah, Billy wins 8-7.
Even I got a job too, buddy.
I think that matchup would actually be really good, to be honest with you.
Close. Me and Billy play close.
Well, I mean, we ain't seen Billy really play a whole lot of one pocket over the last, 2 years, really, either. You know what I mean? So, yeah, my headphones are giving me some problems, too.
Billy hasn't. I don't think he has played that much. He played at Buffalo's. I think he's won out of the money at Buffalo's, but he beat me in the tournament. I mean, he plays it good. He don't need no 8-7.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting y'all in the box is the thing to do after this.
Yeah.
Both of y'all have like an exciting style of play. Billy's super aggressive too at times, but he knows enough about the game to do whatever he wants to do, and he can keep his cue ball on a pretty great string as well. So we got some other comments in here. Sky can't beat you playing one pocket. I think any of those Americans, I'd love to go and see you play.
Yeah,
same. But it's hard. Like, I mean, I'll tell you this, you go and beat Shane, then it may be tougher to get some of these games.
For sure. No, for sure. And honestly, Tony's the best American one pocket player, in my opinion, and we've battled it out for years now. So,
all right. So what can fans go and expect from you without giving away too many of your secrets of what your strategy is?
Oh, man, what a tough question that is. Just going to try to keep Shane off the shot, really, man, and make smart decisions, I get too quick sometimes about, my decision making. So I just need to You mean like whenever you decide on it, or just like maybe you might want to go and bite on something? Well, just like I'll see a shot and I'll like it and I'll get down and shoot it instead of walking the table, looking around. I think decision making is one of the few things that I do better than Shane or some of these guys I play is the shot selection. So I need to take my time more, maybe walk around the table and then shoot.
Do you think, if any, that matchup with Federer will make you kind of be that much more aware? Like, in other words, the way that he was able to go and run balls so easily, is that something that you're just going to make sure I'm going to keep that cue ball really tucked up at times? Yeah, I'm always going to try to do that. But, yeah, honestly, it's hard to keep them off the shot unless I'm freezing them in the stack or freezing them in the end rail and just moving great and everything's going you ain't afraid to take a foul.
Yeah, we're playing 3-foul. Me and Shane.
Oh, are y'all? Wait a minute. I did not know that.
We flipped a coin this morning when he was hitting balls.
Is that right?
Yeah, we flipped.
Breaking news.
He won. Yeah.
Wow.
So we are playing 3-foul.
So. I'm surprised to hear you say that. I remember watching one time. I think it was you and Dennis playing way back when in Oklahoma, maybe at Bills. I don't remember, but specifically, Chip was like, I never played 3-foul.
This will be the first match I've played 3-foul, and I can't even remember.
Because you ain't afraid to go and be at -4 or -5 or whatever it takes.
Still win the game from there. Yeah. Especially gambling. I get it why they do the 3-foul in the tournaments to speed up play, like Derby.
But it's different though, gambling.
But gambling, if I'm betting my money on it, a lot of money, I want to be able to take a foul if I'm in a bad spot. And
that's interesting.
Now I'm gonna have to think twice about it.
Yeah. That's real interesting.
So it should be interesting.
You're one of the few guys that I do like from behind. Like, in other words, coming back, if you're like 7-1 or whatever, I mean, just as an example, but you're one of the few players that I love coming from behind because you just grind unlike a lot of these guys.
I always feel like I'm in the game for sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's easy to go and have that mentality, but I don't know how many times I've seen you in games where I'm like, believe me, I've lost a lot of money betting against Chip. So if if my guy's at 7 and you're at 1, I'm already counting the game. And then I fast forward like 45 minutes later and I'm peeling.
That was the Roberto days. back in the day.
Hey, I heard he wants to play some. I mean, maybe not with you, but I heard he wanted to go and play the winner out of what was it, the last matchup, I think.
It might have been,
or maybe with Tony.
It might have been Josh and Evan. I'm not sure.
That'll be a good matchup, though.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you've had some good successes against Roberto,
Mm-hmm.
but he's hitting the balls good. It looks like.
He is playing good. He just beat Corey.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he just beat Corey.
I think even you and Corey would have been good.
Me and Corey would have been good. Yeah.
Well, you got your hands full with Shane. I'm excited to go and be here. I'm going to be here for the day, and I know you guys start play in like another 45 minutes. So if Shane comes in, we'll get him in as well. Chip, I appreciate you. You're always a good sport, and you're always great to have on. And good luck, man.
Appreciate it, Mike.
Thanks, you, man.
Thanks, guys. Tune in.
Yeah, man. OmegaBeards.com. Get the pay-per-view, and we'll